in a catastrophe with you casting to finish off the song.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like season 7. Oh, was it
7 or 8?
I don't even remember how many there were.
Whatever the final one was, they really took a dump on that series, but in this series, only Kiyotaka can do that, Cinderin.
Actually, what was the worst ending? Game of Thrones or TI4?
Game of Thrones.
That's pretty similar story with amazing build-up.
Because at least there's another TI. That's as Mira, well, they're smoked up. 9 class. Gonna get disrupted. It's a good old-fashioned team fight to start it. The Sprout not gonna block it off. 9 class is fine. Yeah, I mean, they kind of talked about the lack of stun. It there. They literally surrounded him and still couldn't do anything.
Just Shadow Realm and just walk away.
Yeah.
So you were, before we went on here, you were talking about Repel.
Yeah.
And I think this is worth mentioning that we just had to check because Repel has obviously been changed over the years. And the way it works on Omni Knight now is this spell gives debuff immunity. But if you have a debuff piercing dispel, you can remove Repel, which is what Shadow Demon has with Demonic Purge, and what Doom could be a potential solution.
They probably talked about it on the panel.
I am not completely sure, but we don't listen to them all that much, especially when Jenkins is talking, really tuning out then.
Yeah, true.
Making sure to rest my brain during those otherwise very important moments, but of course we are...
So yeah, it ends up being a 2-for-1 special if you have the Repel and Guardian Angel, so we'll see if that comes into play. Of course, it is a support here, not the position 1 that we've been seeing. Ducalis will be playing it this time around. Satanic, who has been just
nice body block from Ducalis.
Yeah, Mira will take the punishment for that, and he's actually brought down by Ducalis using his Hammer of Purity.
Caught him in the tree line, and then they got a little bit of extra block there from the Terror Blade. Nice wraparound for an easy kill. Yeah, this top lane, I don't know how Shadow Demon tied with this. They just don't. But you do have the Prophet 5. You know, there's always possibility for some shenanigans with that teleport. And he will be able to leave his lane since Ursa should be doing great against Ursa, at least for, Ursa against Darkseer, excuse me, for a short period of time. Toronto, Tokyo, of course, playing the Baby Tide. So tiny.
This is going to be a hype series, though.
Little.
I'm having good feelings about this coming in. We were hoping that the first series would deliver. It did go 3 games, but I wouldn't say they were super exciting games. This one has Kiyotaka, though. So it's going to be good no matter what. And on the other side, more stable, Parivision. I would say they definitely have the advantage in this series.
Yeah, it's hard not to favor the team that's winning every game.
But if Kiyotaka plays up to his potential, Cinderin, it's kind of like the Eternal Envy aspect that you guys have brought up before. I mean, this team can really play with the best, for sure. But the way that Satanic has been playing, I feel like nobody else is outclassing him right now.
It's just so fascinating how... Oh, there is that teleportation.
Yep, gonna put it to good use.
Great
nice block off with the Sprout. Satanic dies. As Panto will be the trade, so as usual, praise Satanic for being the best carry of the tournament. Dies within 30 seconds. Usually that's a Cinderin classic.
Yeah, but there you are.
Looks like you're infecting me.
Rubbing off a little bit on you. But, I mean, that wasn't even that great of a kill because you died on Prophet. So, you do get him. But you trade in a 2v3 situation and Terrorblade comes right back. Now Panto will Townport scroll down to bottom, so he won't have teleport now for 30 seconds. And he has to be there for a Nightfall. He can't play the 1v2 indefinitely, but he can be there for a bit. Still will need that assistance of Panto.
Hollis putting out some punishment on Toronto, Tokyo. And a pure damage against this hero. And really rip through him. So what do you think about this Terrorblade?
Yeah. Riveting stuff. I'm so happy we get to cast another Terrorblade game.
Swash misses for Kiyotaka. A good attempt. He's going to take a bit of a punishment for it, though, as no one gets him really low.
Teleportation.
Is this going to be gone through with? Panto, Blood Grenade, tanking the tower. And Kiyotaka can only watch, but he does get the shield crash off. Panto dies again.
Yeah.
But a very good trade. So Aurora active to start this game.
Yeah, he TP'd in with Sprout on cooldown. Otherwise, that would have been a much, much faster kill. But as you say, a good trade for them. Of course, now no one level 4.5 to Pango level 5.5, so full level advantage with that rotation.
Yep, another Sprout. Panto has been in every lane so far in this game. And we're only at the 4-minute mark.
And this does change the mid dynamic quite a bit, because Kiyotaka with another rotation from Prophet, you know you always can call on this position 5, so when you get your Rolling Thunder out, perhaps you could kill no one a secondary time before he hits level 6. If you were to find him at a good spot in the middle. Caught between the cliffs. Kiyotaka will get level 6 on the upcoming wave.
Mira still only level 2 right now. Just taking a beating to Ducalis. Not going to dive any further. The cooldown on Hammer of Purity just a little bit too long. Oh, we'll get the opportunity to go here. Disruption is ready for Mira.
Yeah, he's trying to box him out, preventing him from stacking. But
yeah, the
Shadow Demon, fortunately, is able to do this from very far away.
Yeah,
there's that Pango play.
Yeah, no one still level 5. But yeah, the Purification from Ducalis to keep him healthy. Doesn't have Repel yet.
That's not bad for the side of Aurora. You forced 2 support TPs there.
Yeah.
And this was, obviously, it's a very...
That means Satanic might be in some trouble. Toronto, Tokyo, and Mira trying to take advantage of this right now. In that meta form, Mira, he's taking the brunt of this damage. He's definitely dead. The question is, will they get Satanic? No.
Well,
so, all right, I thought they had something up their sleeve. But
I thought Mira was going to at least try to run there.
As Nightfall takes out DM.
Oh, he is. He has Fairy Fire if he wants to use it. He doesn't need to.
Calculated.
Yep.
Never even close.
Now, what do you do now with this amount of
kill.
resources?
Yeah, that's
it is a
true.
big solo kill, but honestly, maybe he should have chosen to die to the tower. Like, this
really love bringing this up every time.
Not every time.
Sometimes dying to the tower is better.
We'll just let that rest.
No one's still level 5.
Okay. Have you kept track of how long it's taken Nightfall so far to run to base? No?
You should have done it in the tower.
Shut up.
Oh, God. Still running back to the tower here. Or the fountain, I should say.
I haven't brought it up for like 2 days. You always say this. Jesus Christ. Nightfall's back.
Yep, it was worth.
Yeah, okay.
Did not need to die to the tower.
True. Now he's back with half health, half mana. Very nice.
Time to go back now.
Yeah.
Time to go suicide to creep so you can come back with full HP.
Gonna sprout him for the heal.
Yeah, that is a nice little nugget now for the new and improved Nature's Prophet support.
Yeah.
One hero that I actually do not get sick of because he stays super active, just makes games exciting.
Yeah.
And it was just, it really was just the 25 talent that we were annoyed with.
I was annoyed with Ironwood Tree the entire game, but we had
even before he'd get to 25, you'd be talking about it.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't have to hear that anymore.
That's right.
No one.
Good for you.
His stack was being taken by Kiyotaka, has the Rolling Thunder available. Wild Wing not too happy to get double teamed here.
Swashing off the rest.
Takes out most of them. Kiyotaka gets away with quite a bit. Kiyotaka able to dodge. Takes a good amount of damage though, and we're about to hit 8 minutes. I don't think he can even try to go for a rune unless he wants to use Rolling Thunder, which he will. Onto the Storm Spirit. Ducalis takes the haste though, so not able to refill that bottle for Kiyotaka, which was the main purpose of this, so he's just gonna have to hightail away. Mira will suffer the consequences, drops to the deck.
One of the benefits
too. That's a stack.
Yeah, that's juicy. They're going to steal this, at least a chunk of it.
No one's a little bit too low, so.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When you're playing 5 Omni, you don't feel bad about skilling Repel on level 4. So if you're playing in tandem with your Storm, you can pull off shenanigans like this right now, because no one knows he has the backup.
Yep, they're going in deep. Ducalis with the Purification. Tough to tell how many they actually got here as Toronto Tokyo makes his way over. Repel makes him invulnerable here.
Teleport won't matter. He can just zip.
And he will do just that.
What is this courier? But
Jinx.
Pretty good from Parivision overall. That got away with stealing away a big part of the the stack. They forced a lot of rotation. In the meantime, Satanic was free farming top and DM was farming bottom. So a big efficiency win for them. And pretty much the entire net worth lead here is the difference between the offlaners. 800 between DM and Toronto, Tokyo. DM will already receive his mechanism 9 minutes in with Arcanes. So going to be very strong here for the upcoming fights.
DM with the mech now. There's 0 neutrals so far for Aurora. Okay, there's an Obscurio now.
Yep.
On Mira.
Rather ironic that he's the first person to get a neutral item on the Shadow Demon.
He's been hopping around those creeps all game. 2 Sister Shrouds picked up on the Parivision side to try to contest against Nightfall.
Yeah, they just love underwear.
Dire's turret has been killed.
You can't tell me that doesn't look like underwear.
Well, I just woke up. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it kind of does, actually. Yeah, that's true.
I love that you just didn't comment on it at all, so I kind of had to spell it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Thought it was a little deeper of a joke, but
what?
Another surface level one, real genius from
Yeah, I try to keep it simple for you.
Thank you.
Of course, when I am going for the deeper jokes, I will address chat.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Well, that's called crowd wisdom.
Yeah. That's not at all what wisdom of the crowd is.
It's a shorter way to say wisdom of the crowd.
That's not the same thing.
It's the crowd's wisdom.
Yeah, okay.
Nightfall's going to get some support from Kiyotaka.
Yeah, they're planning a move here onto DM. Won't be the easiest kill.
Nightfall's trying to look juicy. There's Kiyotaka trying to counteract. DM stunned up. Gets off the mech, but yeah, it's just a matter of time. Nice pickoff from Aurora. Good bait and switch. No one even made his way halfway over, so more wasted time for him. Gonna take a swash, actually, and does have to be a bit careful. Panto shows up, and that's gonna be the zip away, but Purification, I actually expend the ult from 9 class.
I think they could have killed Kiyotaka there.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, Storm could have committed when he got the repel, but maybe no one feels like he doesn't have an escape plan after. 9 class tries to do it on his own. Mission failed. Oh. Not exactly the best execution there from Parivision. Will be punished by Aurora.
Kiyotaka off to a good start, 2-0. We're wondering who's going to show up today. Repel forced outward to Callis.
He does steal the region though, so he's going to be full HP and mana after that swash, in spite of the diffusal. Now, it still is important for them to force the Storm not to take this region rune, of course. Job well done there for Aurora. Ursa at a good pace, Nightfall.
Stupendous.
12-minute Battle Fury, he's 3-0. Really going to ramp up here. The Terrorblade matchup is not the best, but at the same time, also, Ursa is one of the better heroes later down the stretch against TB because you actually can kill him in a stun or 2.
Yeah, it feels like Ursa is good against everybody right now.
That's interesting.
Based on what we've been seeing. Panto defending a bit, is going to be going for the Orchid. So stopped off with the urn first.
Great Orchid game. Darkseer, Storm, Willow, Omni, especially Omni technically. He's probably the guy you want to Orchid the most because Storm...
Tokyo, is this killable? Satanic comes in from the south. There are TPs on the way though. He's gonna Ravage. The TP was canceled though, so he is actually all alone. So now that's looking more like a miscommunication.
Yeah, maybe he was hoping to take that fight. He did hit 4 people with the Ravage, but no follow-up makes it kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, seems like somebody changed their mind.
Yeah. It also feels bad to TP 4 heroes down there, right? That's the other thing. Like, even if you can take this fight, the risk-reward of porting 4 heroes to then have the enemy team disengage and you give up the entire map for that doesn't feel great to Rainbow TP nowadays. 9 class will chase down Mira with the help of no one.
Yeah, Bedlam pretty damn good, but Shadow Demon gets the disruption off in time, gets purified to death as Ducalis is super healthy. Wall placed onto Nightfall. You can see Panta was looking to TP out. They're going to try to turn this potentially. No one gets to the low ground. Kiyotaka forcing the rest of Parivision out of here. And, oh, they do get the stun just in time onto Ducalis.
Close call.
No repel for a long time, so this looks to be a kill. He gets put onto the high ground, okay? Ends up being a double kill for Kiyotaka.
Getting a lot of value out of this 5 Prophet, I have to say. Panto really getting involved, and in that instance, he cut off the Omni Knight and saw the TP happening, so they used the Rolling Thunder. If not for that TP, he would have lived.
And Kiyotaka takes some damage. No one has a bit more mana to spare. Panto waiting on the outskirts. They're going to get the disruption off a TP on the way as well, and they get the swash into the Earth Shock from Nightfall. Big kill onto no one. And now the pressure onto the tier 1 tower as well.
Kiyotaka 4-0-3 on the Pango,
yeah,
really
is owning.
Crushing it so far this game. Grand reward will be this mid tier 1.
Definitely more
Aurora.
comfortable. I mean, to be fair, these teams played against each other a ton.
Yeah. But it is also a nature of the lineups, right? Like, you look at the Parivision lineup, if Storm isn't jumping, kind of a free game for Pango. There's nothing really stopping Kiyotaka from really playing aggressive the way he likes to. I feel like the games we see from him where it ends up going south pretty quickly is when he's playing into 2 or 3 counter matchups and just overplays his hand. He loves to play aggressive. And whenever you have a polarizing player like that that has a tendency to play sometimes over-aggressive, of course, they're way more likely to get away with it in a game like this. Versus if he was against, say, an instant silence. Like if one of the supports here was a Lion or a Shadow Shaman. Against this support duo.
Terrorize into the Bedlam, but the disruption again from Mira. I mean, 9 class wasn't going to get that anyway.
Yeah, now Kiyotaka can chase. He wants to.
He's going to go for the swash, actually hitting 2. 9 class on the run.
Surge down. But yeah, you can tell. This guy feels unstoppable.
Oh yeah, has the Rolling Thunder out of this Invis rune if he wants to use it. 9 class does have to be careful.
The dream kill here is Satanic. If they could somehow find that with Pango +1, but doesn't seem like they're interested in looking north. We'll let him farm.
Yeah, not able to turn this Invis rune into anything, at least not yet.
Satanic will find Toronto.
Yeah, Anchor Smash pretty damn good against Terrorblade. So they'll just pass each other by. Meanwhile, Kiyotaka, oh, nice vacuum onto another Bramble. Double root action. That's enough to bring Kiyotaka his first death of the game. Huge kill for Parivision.
Limit testing, and he found the limit. As he tends to.
Yes, he does.
I think from a risk-reward perspective, I don't really know how much point there was of staying there, but of course, the things that you don't see when you have all the vision is the amount of pressure that the enemy team is feeling when he's playing up that far. They kind of need to either call the bluff and try to go for him, or if they don't, he's just constricting them, playing so aggressively and forcing them around the map instead. So at some point, you kind of just have to take the chance and hope he is there alone, which was the case that time around. Back in business, though, he finds an Arcane Rune. He's about to hit level 12, so this is a really nice timing for him to look for a fight.
Dire are scanning.
And Nightfall opting to get aggressive with the Basher instead of a BKB. See if this pays off for him. Of course, they can Rosh anytime they want. And that will be right now.
Scouting it with a TP illusion. Daring them to come fight, and I'm sure Parivision will oblige. All right.
The first Aegis for Nightfall.
Gonna have that together with his Basher. Very strong. Still staying ahead of Terrorblade, which is pretty impressive. Not by much anymore, but.
Yeah, Kiyotaka pretty close to a Blink Dagger. Like to get the Ags after the fact. He has Arcane Rune right now. Bramble.
Oh, this would be a
Oh,
good
they actually make him use his Rolling Thunder. There's no one.
Big damage from Satanic.
Yeah.
Not enough.
We'll be TPing though.
All right, forced out.
Instant
yeah, they want to go
Parivision.
here. They've used meta.
Oh, let's see how aware Aurora are. Aurora. For TPing Mira, they scan it out as well, so they sniff it out real hard, Cinderin, and they dodge it. And now Aurora, with a smoke, knowing that this meta is not going to last forever, they can certainly fight.
They could also think about the Tormentor, but
they're going to run into
first.
Parivision. Oh my God! 9 class evaporates in half a second. Trying to work on the Omni Knight next. Ducalis. Okay, big Ravage coming from Toronto, Tokyo. And that's a half HP. Terrorblade is going to get disrupted by Mira. Illusions to work with. No one. Trying to clean up the support on the backline. As Nightfall is the one getting super low. That is 1 life for him. And looking for the Sunder potential is Satanic. He gets the Swashbuckle was there, and the Bash coming out. Nightfall getting the better of that exchange somehow. And now this is going to be Aurora taking this fight. We're going to get DM in all likelihood, although the Congregations of the Deep might have something else to say about it. A nice Bramble as well. DM does escape in the end. 2 for 1.
I mean, Satanic can give him all the happy smileys that he wants for getting first hit bashed. It is possible he could have kept a better distance to get that Sunder off, but it was also the perfect storm. The first hit bash plus Swashbuckle simultaneously. I think they needed both of those to prevent that Sunder.
Kiyotaka try to turn this around with the help of Panto. Orchid applied, no one.
He's low on mana,
relatively tanky. Ducalis is here to help secure his life.
That is huge for the Aurora side, though. They get the Tormentor as well in the midst of all that. This will be a free Curse of the Old Growth. Panto was going to buy that. Now he can think about something else with his 1400. The Orchid and Urn. Perhaps you want to finish your Vessel. Perhaps, I guess you don't, but you could start working on Hex. I think Ags could be interesting this game. Playing against so many heroes that are movement-based. Storm, Darkseer. Omni Knight needs to get in position. You just root all of them. Could be kind of cool when you get a free shard. Let's see.
Panto
for now, he needs to die.
Satanic. Yeah, it will pop the meta. Essence Ring, not enough. $4K lead for Aurora. Definitely hasn't snowballed to a point where Parivision can't see a light there in the tunnel. And in terms of itemizations for them, Hurricane Pike just about finished for Satanic. DM has, looks like a killing spree actually. Blink Dagger just picked up. So Greaves, Blink Dagger, Ghost Scepter as well. And for Mr. No One, the BKB Kaya and Stange pretty soon to be picked up. As we can see, Panto will be grouping up with the rest of his team to take out Ducalis. No One forced to retreat.
Wants to reserve his BKB charge. There's no point in sticking around. There's nothing to be gained here.
And there's a dead in the water here, and Storm Spirit, I mean, does have BKB.
Yeah.
So for now is fine, but I guess it's the Darkseer that has to be careful.
It's really good against Darkseer. He used it last fight on the Terrorblade. Satanic quickly killed off the Anchor and then stuck around for the Sunder that we saw him not get off, of course. Wait, is Toronto Tokyo's changing his mind here? Oh, he was going to buy Blink, but he's going Axe instead. Huh. Interesting. I really thought this Blink would be valuable here. Getting that surprise, considering especially they don't have that many stuns. They only have the Basher on Ursa. So having Blink Ravage here feels like it would be really good. But
you always have time in these 60-minute games, Cinderant.
He did finish the Vessel on Prophet. I can't say I love this.
Oh, they break the smoke. No one initiating. Onto the Shadow Demon. As you can see, the bear going in deep onto DM, but he pops the Greave, staying alive, but the Kiyotaka ult holds him in place. Down goes Darkseer. As no one trying to pick up one support in the back as the Ravage not hitting anything at all. They do find two. As Aurora winning this fight, although Satanic sticking around. Bramble not going to find a connection. Nightfall on the run. Maybe they can reset this. Orchid applied to the Storm Spear, but a nice terrorize on two into the arms of Satanic, who destroys Kiyotaka and follows suits with Panto as well. And now the tables have turned. Nightfall finally gets his BKB off.
The Nightfall.
He's walking it off for now.
No need to TP there. Yeah, that Ravage looks clowny. The thing is, Toronto Tokyo was trying to clip no one as his BKB was expiring. If he would have managed to connect that one, would have been another kill onto the Storm, but no one anticipating that jumped out as his BKB was ending. And it didn't quite work out for the side of Aurora that time. So you're really seeing the value of the Shadow Demon against Omni Knight, though, I have to say. This is clearly a straight, direct counter pick. The only reason they picked it was to deal with Ducalis.
Yeah.
Mira is making his life difficult.
Oh, no one. Spidey senses tingling. Very low on mana right now. It's Nightfall. Not going to pursue any further. If Toronto Tokyo knew that he was going to go Ags at some point, do you think he changes his mind about the 10 talent?
No.
Let's see Bedlam onto Panto. That is a solo kill for 9 class. Not bad.
Out too. No, I don't think you take the Gush talent anyway. You want the Anchor Smash for the farming speed and for some extra teamfight damage. So the main one you want to take correctly if you're going Axe is the 15 one, right? Then you want the Gush damage. Yeah. And he does have that.
I don't know, it gets triple well, I guess I'm looking at the wrong side actually, yeah. Double melee cores.
I'm not convinced about the eggs specifically because I think this is a game where Blink Hex is so incredibly valuable. Like you're not playing against heroes that threaten you that much defensively, so you have the luxury of going full offense. And this is also why we do see him buy the Axe, is because it feels like he can get away with buying whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean it is an enabler for Nightfall. It's minus armor strap between Pango and Tidehunter, and now the Gush being AoE, you can hit multiple heroes at once.
And the synergy is definitely there. It's not bad, it's just you look at the matchups you have. The problem you need to solve in this game is the Storm.
Kiyotaka, Electric Vortex applied, Repel already used on no one. Doesn't have much mana after the fact, and they might have to just give up Ducalis. As
he's continuing.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here. We'll have to pop the BKB. Does he not have the Nightfall available to him?
TP on cooldown.
Yeah, for 30 seconds. He might be dead here.
He should be.
Swashbuckle, DM, the Surge.
With the Surge, yeah.
Okay, actually wants to turn this around apparently, as there's the Gush being shown. Vac wall onto 2, but no one gets sprouted and killed off. Double kill for Panto across the board. Another Toronto Tokyo. Gush to follow for another support kill, as DM will tick away to Mira and company. Looks like the Dark Willow actually did get away here, but still 3 for nothing. Aurora coming out on top of this fight.
Yep.
Pretty easily, I will say. That was kind of an ambitious jump at the bottom lane.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of forcing a fight with a 0 mana Storm. I think you just cut your losses there and get out. But that counterplay attempt onto Kiyotaka, I guess this is a little bit about, you know, playing the player and not the game, right? It's because they think Kiyotaka is completely alone, because they know Kiyotaka is the type of guy to do stuff like that. So perhaps they felt like they could pull a quick one on him there and reset after. But he had teammates right behind him. That's a pretty punishing mistake. Effectively, you did save no one, I think, with the Terrorize alone. You could just have backed. Instead, they bleed out some kills. Now, Roshan about to spawn. Actually, never mind. It's a pretty long spawn. Ducalis is waiting for it, but unlucky. This is a almost maximum. 30 seconds shy of that.
Dire are scanning.
Parivision will not get it yet.
Also, it'll be harder for them to take against a Tidehunter and Ursa.
Yeah.
With the Rolling Thunder in the pit.
They were hoping to sneak it here because Ravage is on cooldown, but unfortunately for them, that spell will be ready when it matters most here for this objective.
And they're going to find Panto right off the bat. Meta force for Satanic. Well, I say forced. Activated. Better word. Oh, they're going to get the vacuum onto 2. DM gets demolished. 3-shot. Nightfall pursuing no one, but has plenty of mana to work with. Satanic trying to make his way over to the fight. Applying some pressure as Mira does fall. No one barely zips away with HP. And now the BKB activated for Nightfall, forcing everything onto Satanic. He has the Sunder up and available. Gonna get disrupted. They have to keep their distance, though. Definitely have to try to kite this out. Satanic swashbuckle from afar, looking for the Sunder, but the shield crash is there to claim him. And that's a full team wipe onto Parivision. Aurora, very nicely played. It did require a buyback onto Mira.
That's such an excellent fight from Kiyotaka. He gets... I hope we're going to see a replay of this. He gets the Rolling Thunder off, and they immediately kill both supports, especially killing, or excuse me, Darkseer and Omni, two of the really big heroes for Parivision in this fight, just out immediately. And then the following 6 seconds, he's zoning off the Terrorblade with his ult. So Satanic doesn't get to get the counterplay. Then once he starts connecting to the fight, they keep very good distancing and then ultimately assassinate him at the end from good range with Pango. Pretty much perfectly played there from the side of Aurora. I'm very impressed with him so far this game. This is, of course, about as tough as the opposition's going to get in this tournament, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And if you can look like this against them, it's a team that has everything to win for qualification points as well. Let's remember that. A top 4 for them would be massive.
Toronto Tokyo getting ganked, barely taking any damage. Anchor smash again to follow with the help of the Nature's Prophet. The Gush is there as well. Toronto Tokyo finally gets some support via Panto. They barely put a dent in this guy.
They actually need to be careful in this 4v1.
They just, no damage without the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Toronto Tokyo has the casual plate mail, definitely helping out there as well as Nightfall.
Oh, he gets his own shard for free.
Wow.
That feels real good for the Ursa.
It was between him and Shadow Demon, apparently. It's 9 class double tapped. Goodbye.
And we haven't really talked about this in this game, but if it's an Ursa patch, Nightfall is... There were 2 heroes this guy got known for and effectively made his pro career out of to begin with, and that was Ursa and Phantom Lancer. And he has not been able to play one of those heroes for 15 years because PL does not get to be good anymore, which I personally do not have a problem with on an individual level. I do think every hero should be playable, of course, but if any heroes could be terrible, Brood and PL being bad is good with me. But Ursa... Nightfall is a true hero specialist, so when this hero is good, he's going to run it, and he's going to run it well. 7-0 and 7 right now in this
Feels like everybody's running it well right now.
I don't know. If you put me on the spot to say who's the best Ursa in the world, I'd probably pick this guy, though. Like,
historically, sure, but it's been
historically, it's probably Matumba Man. But Nightfall gets a podium placement.
Okay. Silver for you, Nightfall. Congratulations.
Being second to Matumba Man is something I think most players would accept. I think the guy's a legend.
$13K lead for Aurora, 3 minutes on the Aegis. Tier 2s in the mid and bot. So pick and choose if you're Aurora. And for Parivision, Satanic, the Butterfly already countered with the MKB from Nightfall. Now where do you go with that? Daedalus is next. That will replace the Falcon Blade on Satanic.
Yeah. Ultimately,
also
his hero's
for Darkseer to not have good illusion heroes to work with.
Yeah, the Terrorblade is ultimately going to have the same problem for the remainder of the game.
All right.
Oh,
Ravage does come out from Toronto Tokyo. Rolling Thunder from Kiyotaka as well. And Satanic right-clicking him to a pretty high degree, but he takes 0 damage still. Shield Crash deletes 1 support. Congratulations, Nightfall gets sundered. We'll have to enrage in an escape mechanism. As you see the vac wall, and the disruption comes out. This is going to be life number 1 for Nightfall. you would think. Indeed, that is the case. They're out without their Storm Darts. Kiyotaka assassinates one. Satanic finally pops the BKB, but it's just him and DM right now. He will find the Pango in the end, but the damage is just too much from Nightfall and company. Even a buyback expended on 9 class. This is just getting worse and worse for Parivision now. Doesn't feel like no one has been able to make a placement in this game. I think an imprint in this game.
If there were ever to be an alien invasion of the Earth, of course, courtesy of SVG's friend, I think they would be hard-pressed to understand Kiyotaka, how one day he wakes up and plays like an absolute god, and the other one he's face-palming half the game.
Yeah.
What an insane Pango performance this game has been. He's 9-3-12, but the amount of space and the amount of clutch movements he's had in these fights
must be something to do with just being comfortable playing against Parivision. That or whatever he ate.
I'm not sure.
Just replicate whatever you ate today.
Might have had a shower with 23 Savage.
Yeah, maybe they're boot camping the same.
Probably. I think that would be very good for morale. Seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
Brings out the best in everyone around him.
Who washes who, though?
We don't need to get into specifics.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That's very unnecessary. And
my mistake.
Yeah.
Thought we were going down that road. It's all good.
No. Well, you're free to talk about your fanfic. We have a bit of downtime here. Whatever. Whatever you want to bring to light here.
All right, what's the Nightfall fanfic exactly?
What's an interesting segue? I think his fanfic is him and Ursa. Just a bear and a twink. All right, moving on. Time to push out some lanes. Nightfall drawing the line. He wants to finish this game, but they don't have Aegis, so perhaps this is just, let's push this out, let's regain map control, keep the pressure up. Oh, find Tukalis. Yeah, Orchid does not stop TP Panto. Worth a try in case the game was bugged in this new patch, perhaps. Yeah. Could have worked. Important. The bottom tier 2 tower looks like it's going to be clean.
I mean, this is, if they go on to win this game, this is going 3.
All right, that's a prediction.
It's going 3.
I'm not going to say it's a bold prediction. Betting against Parivision right now with how they've been playing is definitely bold. This first game from Aurora, definitely some of the most Parivision have been challenged in this tournament. They have lost games. Parivision, that is. It's not like they've gone lost it.
No, definitely not unbeatable. But they have certainly been the most consistent team that still remains here.
Yeah. What often happens in these tournaments, especially in DreamLeague, what matters the most is the longevity and the depth of your strategic pool, because it's a long way from day one to a tournament championship. Like, you need to play so many games, and everybody gets so much time to develop the meta, come up with ideas, study your replays. Eventually, a team like Parivision.
And of course, you always know there's a patch in the middle of the tournament.
Evidently.
Which is amazing. 9 class, smoke is broken. We'll blink away from the gush. Toronto, Tokyo has Shivas now. And already 2,000 into an eventual sheepstick. Basher almost there for Kiyotaka, and Nightfall's inventory is running out of space, so Refresher seems to be what he's opting for. Already has a Swift Blink, of course. Then I assume the Abyssal will be upgraded from the Basher, and then Battle Fury could be replaced by something else.
Is this a game where you want to eat Ags over upgrading an item? Probably not, right? It's not that good. This one.
Yeah, they don't really have...
The cooldown reduction on Enrage is nice. Like, you go from 30 to 18, so it's always good, but it's probably better to replace literally every item first and then go for it as the very last thing. Maybe even Moonshard over it. Feels a little bit redundant on this hero sometimes. Still.
A little surprised that no one wasn't able to pop off a bit here.
Yeah, considering he has repel.
Well, that and they just don't really have that many stuns.
Oh my God.
As the bear comes in,
See ya later, DM.
goes back to base. No one getting greedy with it. We'll have to use the BKB and TP back.
Not to
He's
be
close to
mistaken
ag.
for getting jiggy with it. Which, of course, the famous song by Will Smith. Okay. You wouldn't know.
None of us do. There's 4
That's
Outworld
incorrect.
staffs.
I knew it.
4 Outworld
Yep,
staffs
there's 5.
on one team.
Yeah,
which
as
is
you know,
Parivision.
this item, of course, was going to be very bad, as you said. Good prediction.
I can see it being okay. I don't know, man. I haven't really seen it. I think one time we've noticed the difference, but of course these are, you know, big fights that have a lot of details to them, so. As top lane, Nightfall jumps in, wants the tower, gets Yules.
Okay.
Kiyotaka with the Rolling Thunder doesn't really hit much. Actually does force out the BKB for Satanic. That was,
Oh, they got his meta and his BKB. Kiyotaka actually almost died there. Came at the expense of Ursa's BKB.
Yeah, this will just have to be a wait for the next Aegis.
But that should be way better for Aurora as well, because the cooldowns that you forced out of TP, he does not have Refresher, and your Ursa does. So when this comes around, this is actually a really clever play. Knowing the timing of the Roshan spawn window, this will inevitably really favor you. And Parivision know this, so they're gonna smoke, but when they arrive to any fight, meta will be down. So this will have to be fought without Satanic's actual ultimate.
Yeah, you can Swift Blink in, pop your ult, then refresh. You have everything back at the ready. Not going to run into anybody right away, as Parivision have a similar idea as they wrap all the way around. So close to finding these connections. And Nightfall full circle. They run into each other. The Ravage hits everybody.
Baby.
Oh my! 3 dead for Parivision. And I don't know. That might just be it. 9 class dead. It's 4 dead. The only one to get away is Mr. No One.
They get Megas if they push.
Yes.
They just need to make the choice.
There's one buyback here.
Oof, yeah, that's the face of someone who's had a tough game on Omni Knight being counter.
3 dead for Parivision. And I don't know. That might just be it. 9 class dead. It's 4 dead. The only one to get away is Mr. No One.
They get Megas if they push.
Yes.
They just need to make the choice.
There's one buyback here.
Oof, yeah, that's the face of someone who's had a tough game on Omni Knight being counter Picalis. Kind of getting bodied this game.
Trying to clean up the waves is No One, but only so much you can do. Gets back into the fountain just barely. As the bottom lane will be claimed.
They might.
Top lane is next.
They'll play it completely safe. They could even have gone for the GG there, but to test for buybacks, instead they will go top. Effectively accomplishes the same thing.
Big zip from No One to clean up the waves. Yeah, still 40 seconds on the Terror Blade. Terrorize incoming, but Kiyotaka ready to go with his ult if he wants. Has the dead in the water onto.
That's a dieback.
That is a dieback for the Dark Willow. Vac wall onto 2. But where is the damage without your Terror Blade? It's nowhere. And No One, one more time, goes down. And the GG's called Aurora. Coming out really fast in this game 1. They looked really good.
That's the best game they've played all tournament, I think. And this is the
Welcome. Tyrion Flex told me he would not talk to me ever again if I did not shout out his wife. But luckily for him, she's a lovely lady.
Yeah,
so he deserves it. As we get into game 2, Cinderman, Aurora, they surprised us. Not that they could take a game off Parivision. That we've seen it before. But in that fashion, I don't know. That seemed quite dominant.
Yeah, Seeing some major adjustments here, though. 0 repeat heroes on the side of Parivision. They just throw out their entire roster of heroes and run something else, whereas Aurora will repeat the Prophet, and then they will snag away the Willow that Pari played in the last game. So it will be a totally different ball game here. Like the panel talked about, funny to hear an interview with DM last night where he's like, Bristleback is trash, and then they first pick it, so...
Of course. It's all part of the game.
Yeah, it's mind games here, making Aurora, who definitely listened to that interview, put a lot of stock in it against this hero who has 96% pick and ban rate. Of course, it's bad now. I doubt they fell for that. But here we are, game number 2.
Yeah, we get to see a Weaver. It's been a hot minute, especially his position 1.
Love that hero. And he's starting in the off lane.
Oh, very interesting.
Now that is new. Dodging away from the Beastmaster matchup, which isn't even, generally speaking, that bad for Weaver. But maybe you're trying to avoid the Bristle into a Bad and Prophet. Maybe that one's too bad. But this is highly unusual for Parivision to do, to put Satanic in the off lane.
Right. Yeah, we'll see if this works out to their advantage. I mean, Weaver, over the years, has gotten a lot better in lane in terms of harassment, so we'll see if they can find something up their sleeve.
Instant lane swap.
Oh, yeah.
Aurora very much so want this. Oh.
Satanic! First blood already? Okay. Well, maybe that's what he wanted. He wanted Toronto Tokyo to come to this lane so that he would have just a moment alone with the support. He truly takes advantage of that. His 9 class running away from Toronto Tokyo. Let's see if Satanic wants to do the old swap again.
I guess they just wanted to, maybe they wanted to brute force Bristle against Beastmaster. Maybe that's just too good of a matchup for Bristle.
Yeah, we'll see. Mira will be using the Shadow Realm as DM. Nice block offs. A lot of damage on Ducalis from the Shadow Realm. The Aphotic Shield not going to explode in the face of Ducalis, so Mira gets away with a sliver of HP. DM not wanting to pursue any further. Toronto Tokyo already really low. The axes onto the Rasta. Sprout finishes the job. Satanic will be left alone again, but very high action so far in this game, especially in this lane.
Mid, a notoriously Shaker-favored matchup. Kiyotaka versus no one on the puck. Should be a gimme for Shaker at this level. You're not going to crush him, but you should win.
And this is the jostling rift facet for no one, so the classic one we've been used to seeing. Toronto Tokyo. Actually, Shikuchi will not hit, but they have the Shackle and the Swarm. And Toronto Tokyo is dead. Satanic with the 2nd kill of the game already on this Weaver. So far, Parivision have really brought it in this game, too.
Did Panto have cooldown on Sprout there? He could have saved him. If he just sprouted him after they killed the last bug, or even while they're killing the bug just to get the heal, and then cut out of the trees. I suppose Toronto Tokyo is playing without a Quelling Blade, so that's a little bit awkward, but he did have a Tango. So perhaps there was some room for improvement there in that situation.
Having to buy a Quelling Blade for the Nature's Prophet on your team.
Yeah.
Honestly, this hero, even though we've been seeing a ton of it, the Nature's Prophet, I don't mind. Feels like it just is interesting to watch global ganks consistently. It's a fun hero outside of the 25 talent, of course. Kiyotaka right now, 21-4 in the mid lane. No one 19-5, so pretty even to start things out.
He still has the same 25 talent, by the way. They just changed the facet. You can still get triple HP and damage on the regular treant.
As Ducalis gets destroyed, yeah, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not the same. But that's technically true.
Yeah, it is the same talent, and that's what you said. So you were incorrect, and it's important to be correct in this day and age. A lot of people say things incorrectly.
Yeah, that's right.
With bad intentions as well. No one.
You can't blame me. I am American after all. It's 9 class on the run. Gonna get the Shackle off. And Satanic not doing that much damage right now. They will lose the Rasta eventually, but Toronto Tokyo, the damage is starting to stack up for Satanic. Has a Shikuchi again. Onto Tokyo and Panto, going to continue to trade right clicks. He goes over the Shikuchi, and another kill for Satanic. Another 1v1 battle here. Satanic versus Panto now. Shikuchi up in 1 second. Panto will survive.
Yeah, it's a good fight for Panto to take, to be honest. You'd keep trading resources, but the Weaver will lose a couple of CS in the meantime, and now will need to send some reinforcements out here. He has already got a salve coming in.
It's not often, though, you see a hero get to right-click, AFK right-click, for that was like 30-plus seconds, it feels like. That was insane.
And while that entire fight was going on, of course, the Swarm was just staying on the Hawk. And eventually he was able to kill the Hawk together with Beastmaster as well for a little bit of extra benefit. Yeah. No one is drawing mid. This is really good for Puck. This is highly unusual. You could even, he's actually ahead by 130 gold right now. Not what I would expect at level 5.
Well, Kiyotaka loves to keep things interesting, though.
He gets level 6 first, but I mean, maybe this matchup has changed a decent amount with this patch, to be fair. It's different now that Slugger isn't the facet. It works in essence the same way, but it is weaker. So maybe that's enough to shift this matchup. I wouldn't think so, but time for 6-minute run. Willow will help Kiyotaka cover top. Let's see if they get lucky. Negative. Of course, Parivision know where it is, so they have Oracle.
Yeah, and the Shackle's going to find Kiyotaka in the mid lane. Mira's here for support. It's going to be a lot of damage. Illusory Orb is more than enough. Panto comes in, try to get the trade. They will, but definitely favoring Parivision here. And now the coil expended from no one. Dark Willow will pop the Fairy Fire. Ducalis is standing his ground, so this will be another trade of sorts, but no one with the double. Will Illusory Orb away. Can't fight against Panto with that regen. And the Earn even applied too, so no one.
Yes, Fairy Fire. He could earn him again, or Sprout. No, not gonna reach. Instead, Panto might die now.
Yep, puts down the ward, but he actually could have shackled, but I guess there was an Earthshaker there anyway.
This actually becomes such an interesting mind game when Oracle's in the game, right? Because Parivision will know where the runes are and what they are, and they can therefore they can either choose to send no heroes to the other side, or they can fake it. You know? Start making it look like they think that, or they know the rune is top when it's bottom, so you start sending heroes over there where you think the enemy has vision, but then your mid laner knows where it is and just goes to the other side. It's kind of, you saw in that instance, Aurora obviously don't know where it is. They had 3 heroes top, and Parivision just stayed away. They didn't even try to contest because why bother?
Yeah, that is
it's kind of funny.
I mean, it's too bad we don't see the pings.
Yeah.
On what the rune is going to be, because then we can kind of oversee the operations, Cinderin.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair that the players know which rune's about to spawn and we don't.
I don't like that. Ducalis gonna get some help. Coil comes out onto 1. And that's gonna be a dead Dark Willow. Another support trade. Nightfall. Don't think you want to go any further here.
Well, Satanic
Swarm applied. Yeah, Satanic makes his way over. They do get the borrow timeout, the TP. We'll get back to base safely. Satanic. I mean, what a start for him. 3-0 at the moment. And a nice fissure comes out, blocking 9 class. Gets off the shackle. He knows he's dead as no one. Don't think he wants to go any further here. Obviously does not have the ult to work with. Will jaunt away into Panto. It's off the Sprout. He might be in some trouble here. Ducalis makes his way over as well. This is 3 members surrounding him. Let's get the other orb off. Meanwhile, DM. Yeah, that's a tanky boy. I assume this will be a Spirit Vessel eventually for the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he's rushing it this game. Against Bristleback, it's good. You are playing against the Purge, though, in Oracle. Generally, Vessel, it was not very popular last patch. First of all, because it wasn't the universal item it is now, but secondly, a lot of heroes that were trending were very fast to get Mantas, BKBs, and stuff, and that should still theoretically be the case. But of course, when those are expended, Weaver, not a hero to generally want to buy Manta. The Bristleback definitely does not want to buy a Dispel except Lotus. And it takes some time to get there, so in that intermediary period, you're very, very strong. DM.
All right, Panto again TPing. 9 classes here to help, but DM super low. Nice Hex. Into the shackle with the coil to follow. No one. Gonna clean up the Dark Wheel to start things out. Borrowed time again from Nightfall, but now he's the one outnumbered. 4 versus 1. Swarm applied. And it's only a matter of time. Satanic can block him off as well. JK, LOL. Eventually does get taken out though. Satanic with his 4th kill of the game. Super active on this Weaver. Toronto Tokyo on the other hand does get some time to catch up in this lane. Used to seeing this hero kind of take off pretty early.
It does feel like the nature of the game is so different for Beastmaster being down here now, though. I think you really want to move. Like, staying bottom, you want to go and use your roar and open the top tower.
Otaka's fissures have been so annoying. Nice hex from 9 class, can prevent the Sprout. They were trying to block off 9 class for the, I feel like, 3rd or 4th time this game. All they do is make him take another avenue. Ducalis uses Fate's Edict, disarming Nightfall for the time being, and actually that'll be enough. Doesn't want to pursue any further. Has the Orb of Corrosion, and Radiance will be the first item of choice. They're not going to have a cancellation, so Toronto Tokyo will get out.
Oh, they're going to dive him. Ducalis. Should just be a matter of time before these. Nope.
Just standing still. That's the best strat that I've found in my pubs as well. Just stand there and hope for the best.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He's actually fine.
He's not really gaining much out of this, though, but at least he didn't die.
He's getting some XP, Cinderin.
Yeah, a little bit.
For him, it's a lot. He's a little baby.
Satanic was able to push bot in the meantime, so you trade it off, and now he's going to gate top.
And there's the TP from Panto. They finally find this pesky Oracle.
Should have stayed in the trees the whole time.
That's true. If he didn't move, he'd still be alive. Learn your lesson, kids. Satanic again making his rotation over, looking for the trade. Mira's dead, so it is just that. And now Panto teleporting away. I love how active Satanic is. This is feels like certain heroes for him. The Ursa the other day is super entertaining to watch.
Yeah, Weaver in particular is just the early active carry, right? It's the one that has the most rotation potential, with Skitter Step in particular. Super high move speed. And you're very eager to get involved. It really benefits your... Because in theory, every carry can just stand and farm, right? But for certain carries, it's just a net negative not to do stuff on the map because you're capable. Just gives you a much bigger chance of winning versus... You would probably have the same net worth if you had just AFK farmed, but this way you're also sabotaging the enemy at least somewhat. Still ahead of the curve here with 6,000 net worth, minute 12.
Kiyotaka has Blink Dagger. See what they can set up with it. Yeah, no one's smoked right now.
Only level 2 Aftershock, though. This does matter against...
Waning Rip, but there's the instant echo. Goodbye, no one.
Doesn't matter for that, though.
That was nice. They didn't get baited by the illusion.
It was a big kill. He was 4-0.
And now we find a Serpent Wars from 9 class on top of Toronto Tokyo.
He can't
TP coming
solo
in
him,
from
though.
Panto. 9 class will likely die for this. Toronto Tokyo limping away. Panto not even to be traded, so ends up kind of just killing himself. Satanic, you'd be happy with the borrowed time proc. Could actually continue on here, potentially.
TP out.
Yes, he does. He's got that hotkey probably set to 5 different buttons on his keyboard. Just puts his face down and he TPs.
The pattern repeats.
So looks like a Desolator for Satanic. What do you think about that instead of like a Maelstrom?
I mean, it definitely
Synergizes with the goo, I suppose.
Yeah,
extra minus armor.
It is the hardest single target damage item you can buy on Weaver, but you do lose some potential utility versus buying certain other items.
Such as?
You could buy like Diffusal. Sometimes we've seen that purchased for Weaver. Get the slowdown. Could aim for... Yeah, I guess, yeah, like you said, the Maelstrom, of course, is the obvious one. For faster farming and for more mixed damage. I don't know. I think on Weaver it's actually kind of tough to call in a lot of games what the better item is. Because Deso should be better in every situation when you're single target focusing a hero and you really want to fight, but for all the downtime you would wish you had a Maelstrom, right? So it does indicate that Parivision, and in particular Satanic, has a vision for how this game is meant to be played soon, that he wants to fight a lot. See if they can pull that off. Of course, Weaver loves playing with Oracle. Anyone who can save you. This hero is all about staying, you know, you're relative, historically speaking, you're fragile. It's not so much anymore with talents and the way you itemize. You actually get decently tanky. But this hero has always been about being able to move around the fights but not overplaying. And Oracle helps you a lot in that regard. Yeah. Just when you're, even when you're about to Shikuchi in, you can just Fate's Edict him with how that works now. So you're not disarming him. Just give him that. That's true. Damage block so you can commit in with confidence.
Which begs the question, do you think after the Deso, it looks like he's going to go BKB first before Shard? This is one of the most ridiculous shards in the game. Perhaps with Fate's Edict, not exactly a BKB, but it's close.
I would like to see him buy Shard first.
Yeah.
It also helps with the farming aspect that we just talked about. If you don't have the Maelstrom, then at the very least with Shard, you can really keep up the pace.
Boots of travel for Kiyotaka.
Well, he does love this item.
He does. If you buy it on Storm, you might as well buy it on everyone, I guess. Serpent Ward's placed in the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, this is tough to defend. No one with a shield rune and a haste rune.
Yeah.
Might just let it go.
Yeah, and this tower going down will effectively give no one his blink.
There's the timing for Toronto Tokyo, though. Has the drums of Slom available.
They burned through the shield rune.
Tower's gone, though. Too little, too late. Nice try on the deny there from Miro with the Shadow Realm. Not going to happen.
And Nightfall in the meantime. Borrow time again. Forced out. 2,000 into his Sacred Relic for the eventual Radiance.
He is?
And that is the big power spike for Aurora. He's not farming as well as we're used to seeing on Knife. I mean, he did start in the off lane, to be fair.
Yeah, there might be, because Toronto Tokyo is obviously doing quite well for himself, but I wonder if they swapped lanes or priorities a little bit too late here. I think ideally you really want to get this Radiance. I think it's more important to get that faster than the Drums of Slom, to be honest. And I also don't know, like, Drums of Slom have been nerfed. How good is this item now?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
On Toronto Tokyo versus going Helm of the Overlord, for example. Or Auras. Like, this is a, in theory, pretty good Crimson Guard
Auras
game.
for Aurora?
Yeah, Auroras.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And we didn't get to talk about this at the panel, I'm sure discussed it, but what are your thoughts on Abaddon being picked after there's a Shadow Shaman being shown? We've seen this 15 talent just like murder Abaddon in general.
I don't love it. I think there has to be a better approach. That doesn't mean you have to think of it in terms of the negative side always, but it's a valid concern.
This is a big find. Oh, yes, he cannot get time lapse off, just stun locked. Mira baiting that out hard. So Satanic, first death of the game. And now Ducalis onto the high ground. Kiyotaka will eventually... shortly.
Oh, hello.
There he goes. Ducalis really good at standing next to trees. This time it won't save his life. 50-50. Nightfall. Still has borrowed time. Gonna get Hex for now. We'll pop it. And with that Parivision, we'll reset.
Maybe DM wasn't joking in the interview. Bristleback lowest net worth core in this game. I died. Huh.
That's a weird feeling.
Yeah. A little bit stunned there.
I'd like to know what his total score line for this tournament is.
Yeah, his KDA is ridiculous.
And despite that death, they will go into the pit, and the minus armor on Roche with the Serpent Wards as well is going to help bring him out, or bring him down pretty fast.
Yeah, nice halberd usage into the Fate's Edict, preventing Roche from killing the bug. Kill it that bit faster. Nice little detail there. Yeah, so DM, he's gone for the halberd. Decent against Abaddon, of course, but Be going for pipe second to mitigate some of Shaker's damage and that
moment of truth here. Cinder, a big moment as Echo. Was there an illusion there, or no one just got out in time? That was not expected.
I did not notice, but I did hear the voice line.
Yeah. We caught it on the side of the screen, I think. But
it's the moment of truth.
Will he go for the shard for Satanic now that he has Aegis instead of holding on to it?
Still have...
Yeah, I think he just bought it.
Oh, is it flying out?
He had like 1,300 last time I checked. So, all right, that's a pretty ginormous power spike for him. Shikuchi coming out of it, you will attack every target nearby. Looks like it'll be a trade of tier 1s, mid for top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is one of those.
Will retreat.
It's such a feels good shard. Even when you're support, but you generally don't buy it then.
Oh, they have Orchid, but no one. Able to find a good amount of distance away. He gets stunned, though. Gets off the orb just in time. Kiyotaka, in the meantime. Oh, the Terrorize actually connects onto 2, but Kiyotaka is super low. A couple more right clicks will suffice from Satanic. Oh, but he gets stunned. No, he does get the time lapse off in time. Finds the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, Ducalis dies to Toronto Tokyo. It's a 2-for-1 to start in favor of Parivision. As Toronto Tokyo able to TP out successfully. So Parivision coming out on top of that fight. They maintain the Aegis as well, and because they're in this area, Tormentor should be theirs.
This is such a great duo for killing the Tormentor. Weaver Bristle, so easy. And Reign of Destiny.
Yes, that's a good one.
Unlocked for Ducalis.
I love the visual effects on this shard.
Yes, it's one of the
looks really
most
good.
Beautiful spells in the game.
Satanic, not able to find the Nature's Prophet. I feel like they used, I mean, obviously it's the same spell from Warcraft 3, right? Effectively. And it looks very similar to it as well. So.
Wait, which spell is that in Warcraft?
It was what was the original name of Nature's Prophet? Can't remember. Or no, it was the Leshrac guy. Yeah. I forget his name. Was it just Leshrac?
Oh, the ultimate from Keeper of the Grove.
Keeper of the Grove, yes, yes.
Was it called Tranquility?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Tranquility.
But yeah, it's very similar to that. Kiyotaka, Invis. Did he see 9 class? Maybe looking for a higher value target. Ducalis, okay. Picking and choosing. We'll go for the Oracle. Echo Slam used. Goodbye.
Oh.
And unfortunately,
almost a heist.
Panto.
Almost. Yeah, the most unfortunate part about this is that Panto didn't even need to arrive.
Yeah, he was not needed.
He sent his ulti, and that was enough for Kiyotaka.
Maybe he thought he had the other facet, the gold bags. He had to pick up the gold there, you know. Really important.
Yeah, you could easily trick yourself into thinking you would take the bad one instead of the good one.
Why can enemies pick up the gold? Anyway.
Genuinely, there's been like...
I wonder what the win rate of that is in pubs. Like, really curious.
There's been a handful of random things Valve have put in this game in the last 5 years. So I've been like, they have to have been smoking. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, how does anyone ever come up with this shit?
And they are in Seattle, after all. As Tier 1 being pressured, Serpent Words and the likes. Should be a freebie for Parivision. Still a minute on that Aegis, and still 2 Tier 2s remaining.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get another one here. And Satanic, he is approaching the BKB. And it looks like he'll be going for the upgraded Hurricane Pike after the fact.
The upgraded Hurricane Pike.
Okay, upgraded Dragon Lance.
What would an upgraded Hurricane Pike be? How would you make that item better?
Not dispellable.
Okay.
But you have to spend 5,000 gold.
Just for that?
Yeah.
That's very expensive.
Nullifier's really good.
I mean, true, but I think that would be some I am 7 slotted kind of thing.
Yeah.
Satanic will continue to...
He never upgraded to Spear Vessel. Interesting. I mean, it's back on his list again on Nature's Prophet.
I don't like it now. I liked it when he wanted to rush it, but then he went Orchid because it's so valuable against the Weaver and Oracle, which makes a ton of sense. But now it's going to not be worth it anymore, I think.
Do you think about a Silver Edge for him? It's kind of expensive for a support.
It's really expensive.
But does feel like you need some sort of a break eventually for the Bristleback.
I think I'd rather see him go Hex or Solar Crest.
Okay.
Not the best Solar Crest game, but it adds up having all these things for especially your Abaddon, who seems to be struggling a little bit to find that much teamfight impact.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Raining Rift silence, Coil as well. Essence Ring though to keep him alive. Dodges the Terrorize. Mira's dead. Oh, now the Orchid to follow though. Panto continuing the pressure. Doesn't have any backup though, so no one just shrugs it off.
Well, Kiyotaka could find a snack on the way back here if no one goes for the wave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's gonna jaunt this one surely. Not.
Good call. That's why you paid the big bucks, analyst.
It's not really analysis there, is it? Oh, here he is.
One.
Told you. But who's hunting who?
And he'll TP out. Yeah. Didn't have Coil anyway, of course, but he's pretty much halfway to a BKB for no one. Oh yeah, he does have Yule, so could have canceled, I suppose. 5K lead for Parivision. They try to extend this to a game 3.
So far, so good. This Weaver is becoming massive. And we've talked a lot about the Weaver, but let's not forget that Puck is a hard carry as well. In modern Dota, late game Puck is sometimes stronger than the position 1 of the game, by far even. And this is a game where Aurora don't have the most stuff against him. The only instance done they have is Echo Slam. And at a high enough level, you're going to be playing around that. And even if you do mess up, you still have an Oracle with a Blink Dagger who can bail you out of trouble. So it's looking very healthy for the Parivision side.
Serpent wards again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So even without Aegis, feeling pretty confident to take these objectives. Tier 2 down in the mid lane, and that's the last remaining one for Aurora. And you can see in the next 30 seconds, Roche could spawn. Double Hex into the shackles. Satanic with the rainbow projectiles gets the kill onto Panto. And Daedalus is next, and when he gets Daedalus...
I love watching this hero. It's one of my favorite carries. It's just so much more satisfying to see a hero that's so much about this, like, sneaking around, and it feels more like a risk-reward whenever you take fights versus certain other carries where you just press all your buttons and just stand and absolutely smash everyone to pieces with, like, Terrorblade or whatever. Weaver has always had this charm to take over games.
He had the shield rune. They get through it. Do they have the stun lock? Absolutely. Deleted.
See ya.
Fissure block off DM. We get Curse Crown as well. They're coming through the gate. So gonna try to get a little surprise tactic here. Toronto Tokyo pretty greedy going for these creeps.
Wow, they went back.
Okay, never mind.
They didn't know he's there.
Greed will not be his downfall today.
Nope.
Kiyotaka, BKB is next for him as well.
This is a pretty even game.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
So, first game was very Aurora favored at this point. This time, definitely feels like a game both teams can win. I'm looking a lot at Satanic to stay ahead here, and with his next item, as you talked about, his damage output will be ridiculous, but he is very much killable. Catch him in Aurora, you catch him in an Echo, and you have some sort of control for the Oracle, and this hero can easily be 100 to 0. Weaver does not have the same type of armor like a Terrorblade.
That's where Oracle comes in.
Yep, but if he's control channel, like I just said, 30 seconds, or actually not, let's not exaggerate, 10 seconds ago.
Cinderin.
But Oracle will come in.
There's an Oracle in the game.
True. He's 0-7 though, and is getting targeted a lot.
He'll be fine.
In the fights.
Okay.
But
he's got Blink Dagger, Cinderin. There's an Oracle.
Yeah. Be an interesting cast if we forget what we said all the time, wouldn't it?
Well, give it a few years. I don't need that many more years, man, to get to that point. All right, Panto and company, they want to try to contest this Roche. The Orchid applied to Mr. Satanic. He's just going to shrug it off. He's going to continue on. His Nightfall going into the pit as well. Who's going to grab the Aegis? Who has the quickest fingers? It's Nightfall. He gets the Roche. He gets the Aegis. He gets away with everything. Now on the run, trying to kill these bugs. Still has a second life anyway. as Mira deleted by Satanic. Meanwhile, Ducalis chased down by Toronto Tokyo, so 1 for 1 there. They want to burn at least the ult for Nightfall. They get that as Toronto Tokyo was controlling 9 class. And Satanic is continuing to just right-click everybody within range. Toronto Tokyo next on his list. He is dead. As Panto, my goodness, had a full HP bar just a moment ago, but Satanic puts an end to his life. So an incredible steal from Nightfall, but it's going to cost them pretty much everybody on their team.
Where'd Kiyotaka go?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Where did Kiyotaka go? Like, what happened in that fight? I don't understand where the Shaker went.
He still has Echo.
He has everything. Like, there was such an insane steal from the Abaddon. He gets away with the kill and the Aegis. Well, they only retain
he's in Fountain. I think that's where he went.
Oh, he went back to base now.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes sense.
The Kiyotaka special.
Yeah, I'm not flaming him. I just don't understand. I didn't know.
Why do you like flaming people?
Yeah, that's right. I'm very biased caster, as we've established yesterday.
Yeah. Why do you hate everybody?
I don't know, man. It's just something about them. Okay, let's see this replay. Where is he? So he's off to the left.
Yeah.
And this fight is extending.
Yeah, and there's still Aegis.
So
there he is.
Nightfall leaves.
All right, teleporting.
Okay, I mean, this was the tail end of the fight. What happened before? I don't know. Anyway, he TP'd bottom and got killed. I just didn't see in the heat of the moment where the Shaker was, but that was such an elongated fight that felt like with an Aegis steal you had a chance.
Well,
but
Roche banner, they did pick that up, apparently. And the Serpent Wars play, so this tier 3 in peril. Dark Will able to get off the ult. Nightfall focusing everything on Noah. The false promise is going to keep him alive. The right clicks continue from Satanic, and they get the ult off of Nightfall. And they'll back away and try to reset DM inside of this Sprout. Getting off the goos over and over and over. Serpent Wars continuing to do a lot, along with the Roche banner. Can't underestimate that. They get the range barracks. Will they be able to get more, though? Parivision, without the false promise. They still have time lapse, but not going to take any chances. Very annoying to deal with this Abaddon, who has that Aegis intact.
yeah, Shaman's not 15 yet, so
yeah,
can't
true.
just kill him during the Hex, but that will arrive eventually, that level 15 upgrade. And props to Parivision for identifying that that was a fight they could absolutely take in spite of having the Aegis stolen. Satanic just ruthless. Just goes from one target to the next. If he's not getting stopped by the Shaker, he's not getting stopped by anyone. Kiyotaka
showing himself. Satanic will take advantage. Oh my goodness!
Well,
He pops the BKB but dies anyway. Satanic is just too strong. Kiyotaka 1 and 4 right now on the Earthshaker.
Such a good read to find him there. How did he know he was going to be there? That's the most impressive part about this for me. I mean, obviously the execution itself is not hard. You're just shikuchiing through him and killing him in 4 hits, but the presence of mind to be waiting there in that tree line at that time. Beautiful stuff. And this could cement the mid lane. You're not going to fight this without your Shaker, surely. Well, they are smoked.
Yes, they are. Doesn't have buyback as Ducalis. He's going to be the one that
that's a good terrorize, actually.
Terrorize onto a couple of heroes. Nightfall. Well, he's going to burn the ult again. Will be able to get the double kill, though. And the question is, do they stay? Parivision, they've lost both supports.
So he's in on the Weaver, just insta-dies. Like, what did you expect?
Yeah, they can easily get this barracks, and they're going to burn the Aegis as well. Toronto Tokyo ready to come from the sideline. The Waning Rift and the coil used on him. Toronto Tokyo looking for the roar target, pops the BKB. Satanic just shikuchis away. Couple casual right clicks. Toronto Tokyo dead before the ult can come out. And no ultimate available for Nightfall, so he drops to the deck. Buyback from Panto as well. And Parivision, to get their 2 supports back very shortly, they can stay 70 seconds of no position 1, 50 seconds without their offlaner.
Satanic is playing with the man. The way he outranged the roar there.
16 and 1 on this Weaver.
He let them almost roar him, and then he pikes away. All he needs to account for is their blink daggers. As long as they're unavailable, he can keep kiting them forever. Back bottom we go. This is easily the second lane.
Yes, this will not be contested, surely. They're smoked on. Kiyotaka looking for...
Oh, Fissure cancel on the TP.
All right. That's something, I guess.
Oh, thought maybe they were going to turn this into something, as Shadow Shaman almost dead to creeps, but not quite. 9 class will live. That's it. They got nothing.
I'm surprised they didn't get more than that. I'm really surprised.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Shadow Shaman, well, I was expecting to look at the level and say he's now level 50, still 13. Really needs to get that 15 here soon.
All eyes on Satanic in this next fight. He has an amp damage when bottled. He could one-shot combo the Shaker. He has 10 armor. 2 crits would do it.
If they really want to play it safe, you wait 2 minutes. Maybe Roche will spawn at that point.
This is also big. In 10 seconds, 9 class will get the Wisdom Shrine. That'll be his 15. He's in the position already. He knows how important this is. And Uncontested will receive his upgraded break on the Hex. One of the best talents in the entire game. I will make a bold prediction now and say that will not last until the end of the year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think this is getting changed.
I don't mind it.
I think there's, you know, you can buff the hero in some way to compensate if necessary or whatever. It's just so fundamentally crazy to get this for free. Like, this is an ability, if you think about it, the ability to break enemies is something you pay thousands of gold for.
Yeah.
And you have a hero that gets it for free, and he's already good, right? It's just such an incredible benefit.
I mean, Aurora picked Abaddon knowing this, though.
Of course. I'm not...
I personally don't think it's a problem.
I think this is overpowered. I really do.
You can play around it. You can draft against it.
True. Just don't pick any hero with any passive.
Well, ban Rasta then, if it's that powerful. He's not getting banned.
He's getting banned a decent amount, you know?
He's in every game.
That's not true. He was banned 1 or 2 games today already, I think.
Yeah, out of 1,000 that's been played.
Okay. Take it easy there.
17K lead for Parivision, trying to get this to a game 3, and it's looking pretty good at the moment. Satanic having one of those performances that he has every other game, it feels like. And for Aurora, they just have to have, I mean, obviously the Earthshaker is their big team fight, but they don't really have a ton of like burst damage on top of it. No like true wombo combo.
Yeah.
All the stars are gonna have to align here for Aurora to be able to get themselves out of this one.
In theory, Beastmaster plus Shaker do so much damage, but the problem is they're playing against heroes that are hard to catch to begin with, and even when you do, there's an Oracle. This is such a really specific subset of things that need to happen in order for you to kill a Weaver or kill a Puck now. It's only getting worse. Eventually, down the stretch here, Parivision will start considering Lincoln Spheres or Eon Discs. And then it will be a lot harder. Weaver, for the time being, will be looking at a Butterfly. Obviously, Satanic's previous nickname. He is not really too creative with his nicknames, just picks an item from Dota and likes another item from Dota.
Nothing wrong with that.
Next year, he'll be called Rapier. Or, I don't think Scythe of Vice rolls off the tongue very well.
Well, there's already Sheepstick, so...
Yeah.
You know. Scotty's pretty good. I would like Scotty.
Scotty's a decent nickname, yeah. You know Scotty is a Norse god, right? From Norse mythology.
That is cool.
I think it's the goddess of frost, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, which would make sense for I have Scotty. I'm gonna look that up for you right now, Shannon.
Thank you.
Scotty is the goddess of the wilderness, who hunts in the mountains on her skis. Her father is the giant Tiazi. She became accepted by the gods of Asgard when she married the sea god Njord.
Oh, wow.
There's a little bit of trivia for you next time you play Trivial Pursuit. I know your favorite game of all time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Of course, after Counter-Strike 2, which is your...
Yep. I'm also a big fan of Secret Hitler, though, so I don't think you can help with that one.
Do you want me to Google that one, too?
Sure.
No. We're good.
And the pit, can they contest? No, not this time. They actually get a boar in there. Oh, he popped the Wait, what? Wait, what?
Misclick?
I guess so.
He
wasted the refresher shard.
He got so excited.
Parivision, they're smoked. They want to fight despite not having the Aegis. Mira leading the way. Ducalis, he's going to pop the smoke as Satanic. Yeah, that's a good pickoff. Oracle dead. Nightfall can take a couple right clicks. Satanic
oh, that's a good terrorize too.
He gets terrorized. They have the fear. Echo Slam to follow, but the shackle to stop the combo. And Satanic pops his namesake, gets back to full HP, and now can just destroy Kiyotaka.
Die back on the Oracle.
That is a dead Earthshaker. Yeah, the double death. Looks like Toronto Tokyo will Nightfall away.
Yeah, I think all-inning Weaver is just not a possibility when he has Aegis. I understand the play without it, but when the Aegis is online, it's just not going to happen. Even if you kill him once there, so what?
Yeah, then you're out of steam already.
You got to focus on the rest of the team. You got to try to kite the Weaver around, as crazy as that sounds. You have a lot of Ghost Scepters, and he doesn't have a Nullifier, so you can buy some time at the very least against Satanic. And yeah, it doesn't seem too phased by the Oracle being death once more. Straight to the high ground we go.
This will be Mega Creeps in all likelihood. Earthshaker. Kiyotaka doesn't have... sorry, he does have buyback, but does not have his ult for another 50 seconds.
Nice little detail there from DM using your favorite neutral item, Outworld Staff.
No, I didn't
so dodge the stun of the crown, Cursed Crown.
Okay, good. And they're going to go on top of the Abaddon. The Hex comes out, and that means he cannot get borrowed time off because of that 15 talent. And that should do it. GG's called. We're going to a game 3. Parivision. Very impressive.
That's such
Satanic,
an awesome...
even more impressive.
Such an awesome last pick. I'm interested still to understand why they did...
Series. We just got out of an elongated pause, of course, which... I have nothing, actually. I was going to make a joke, and nothing came.
Yeah, I have nothing against it, because we just get to listen
good.
to more music.
That was, I was very relaxed, enjoying the vibes.
Yeah.
Here at DreamLeague, of course.
It just does something extra to have that fourth person as well. You know, it adds a little bit of more depth to have another instrument.
Yeah, we need to get Piri and Flax on as the trio. Then we can get Slacks as the fourth, and then we're truly complete.
Yeah, I think we need Ted to play the triangle. He will be...
And then Slacks on the xylophone, of course.
Mm.
Or actually, he has the mouth trumpet, I believe.
I think Flax on vocals.
No. Veto.
Slacks on cowbell.
Okay. Those can get pretty loud, though. So Kiyotaka is playing the Outworld Devourer.
Destroyer. Yep, they renamed it again.
Who cares? OD against Terrorblade, so historically, pure damage, obviously, very good against the hero.
The battle begins.
And we have a CK, so 9 class playing support CK. That should be interesting. And the one hero I want to talk about briefly is actually the Shadow Demon from Mira. He goes for the Shadow Servant facet.
Yeah.
Creates illusions of heroes that die near him. And for near means 1,500 radius.
Yeah,
that's quite large.
He wants a Terrorblade illusion whenever they kill TP. He wants
CK is not bad either.
Yeah. Well, it's a support, so less good.
Still, it is 9 class playing. He'll get farmed. Your thoughts on everything we just talked about?
I'm just thinking about this Shadow Servant, the way that it works. The illusions disappear when the enemy hero respawns or SD dies. You could have an illusion for a really long time.
Yeah.
If you kill the Terrorblade in the mid-late game, you can use it for push.
Well, I mean, you can just go die to him on purpose. Get that illusion, have fun with it. Panto not having too much fun right now. Pops the Fairy Fire. They're not going to dive any further, though. The tower, though, doing quite a bit to 9 class as Nightfall trying to make his way over. 9 class will get on his horse and leave.
Here, I don't understand your suggestion of dying to him. What was the point?
Who cares?
It doesn't work like that. I just told you how it worked, and then you suggested something that would be directly against
how does it work again?
You lose the illusion when you or the target, when you die or the target respawns. If you go and feed to him, you just die.
That's true. You got to get really high level for that to be good.
No, it still doesn't work.
Okay, Avalanche. Avalanche onto DM.
Stop yourself.
DM. trying to run away. He's fine.
No, teleport.
He's not fine.
He's
Panto, he's fine.
He's fine.
9 class.
He's not
Chaos
fine.
Bolt hits both heroes. He gets the first blood as a result. That, of course, is the Cloven Chaos facet.
This is what happens when we're on a 6th straight game, Shannon. We start not listening to each other.
I know.
Until then, we play very close attention.
All right. Okay, let's be clear here, okay? 2 best of 3s every day, every single day,
Yep.
and they're going pretty long.
Yep.
You go a little crazy, okay? And for me to stay as sane as I can means I have to ignore about 65% of what you say.
Okay.
So you know, sometimes that's going to be valuable information. Usually not, of course, but
So what you're saying, if I repeat everything twice,
yeah, then on
you'll
average I'll
generally
hear it. That's correct. Kiyotaka, pretty low right now.
so if I repeat everything twice, you're generally going to hear it on
Well,
average.
you got good in RNG there because I did hear that one twice actually. So now it's annoying.
So if I
Yeah, exactly.
twice.
It's a good effort.
Okay.
Each hero will get their water runes. Right now, 11 and 7 for Kiyotaka and 12 and 4 for no one. I mean, how does this matchup go in your estimation? And I'll try my best to listen.
I feel like OD will win this level 5 and onward, but until then, Kunkka will do okay with the cleave.
Okay.
I think a lot of OD's matchups start getting really lopsided when you get the 3rd point in Astral. Some of them even get lopsided with the 2nd one, but just getting that lower cooldown plus higher damage, it scales incredibly well. If you think about it, the damage goes up by 90 every time and the cooldown goes down by 2 seconds. And with the longer duration too, you will often be able to just get 2 denies during it instead of 1. The one upside Kunkka has is when he's level 5, he can one-shot the ranged creep from full HP. Oh, he might actually try a little bit of a sneaky play here. I don't think he can kill Kiyotaka though, but
Torrent.
doing whatever pressure he can. He's doing well for himself for sure on the Kunkka.
Oh, yeah.
Lane is pretty much tied right now. And no one has plenty of regen. This is the big difference here. He has 2 bracers and a tango pack.
Ducalis will awkwardly run into lane and then exit.
Yeah. Neither of these heroes run bottle, obviously, so water runes less important than for bottle heroes, but still matter.
Meanwhile, disruption onto Ducalis.
Is this the first time we've ever cast Shadow Servant? It doesn't really ring a bell for me that we've.
I believe so. There's a lot of damage. Gets the Astral off those. Kiyotaka gets the distance needed. Oh, nice Sprout blocking the path. Panto. They're not able to really turn it into anything.
I'll get the water rune. Just barely. I knew he was going to get that for sure there. See the future. And the other lanes, I mean, the game is pretty even overall so far. Nobody is really struggling. All the cores having a game.
Reality Rift onto Panto. Nightfall, though, is here.
So was
Mira
Mira
from the other side in 9 class. That Ion Shell wants to make something happen. Has 2 stacks, though, of Shadow Poison. He's going to go down one way or another, and it's going to be to Mira.
In the meantime, in mid.
Yeah,
oh, he doesn't have mana for Torrent.
Kiyotaka
Can't
chase. There's a TP coming in. Now Astral, so no one in a bit of a weird spot. It is just Panto, though.
It's hard to cut the right tree here.
On trees.
Yeah, good for him. He had a tango. When you're sprouted in the middle of the forest like that, it's so hard. Sometimes it's impossible to cut your way out.
Such a different dynamic with this Sprout healing.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
You have an excuse. Whenever people are like, why did you sprout me or griefing? Just be like, I'm healing you.
That's right. That's a big tidebringer, Panto. Try to set something up.
Is here too. Everybody's mid.
Inside of the Sprout, but 9 class gets the Chaos Bolt onto Panto, and they're going to exit the premises. No one picks up the damage rune, though. Yeah, very tense in this mid lane. Basically a 3 versus 3 at this point. Which leads the other cores to solo. And who's being the beneficiary of that, Cinderin?
Well, I mean, it's relatively even, all things considered. I don't really think there's a clear winner, but I guess the player who was supposed to have the hardest lane overall, I don't know. I mean, tied against TB, you're both just going to farm. And Tiny against Darkseer is kind of the same story. So it's honestly just a nothing burger overall. Everybody's just going to hit creeps. Nobody is in a position to truly bully. And that also is probably what largely leads to this amount of rotations mid, is that you're Oracle and you're like, what am I doing top? Like, you're not going to kill the Tide together with the Terrorblade. You're barely even going to pressure him. You might as well do something else. And those two options are either stacking or securing runes and fighting mid. And conversely, bottom, Prophet, Tiny are unlikely to be able to kill Darkseer. So, especially when he gets Vanguard. So this is just the natural development of things. Don't think we're going to see many kills until 15-20 minute mark in a game like this.
Yeah, watch there be a bunch of kills right now.
There'll be one, maybe.
Tamira.
There'll be one.
Reality rifted into death. Panto TPing in, and now Toronto Tokyo with the Ravish hitting 3 heroes. Now the Astral Imprisonment on a very important target with the Sanities, enough to take out Satanic. So just as Sinner was beginning to speak, immediately nullified. This is why I don't listen to 65% of what you say.
Do you consider 4 kills in 8 minutes a lot?
God, this is out of control, this game.
I don't. But... Kiyotaka.
8-minute rune. It is shield. 9 class is going to snag it. Gets the Reality Rift onto Panto. No one looking to use that ship. Won't need to for Panto, of course. Will be an easy cleanup here with the 4 members of Parivision nearby.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Banish.
Doesn't have sanity,
Into banish.
so can't really... God, that is annoying. Oh my.
Just killed him with the Shadow Poison.
Fate's Edict comes out a bit late, but will be healed up by Ducalis. They're going to make their way over to the triangle to see if there's any stacks. There's some. Not a crazy amount for a Shadow Demon to be able to do here. Oh, I should rephrase that. Not a crazy amount currently versus what a Shadow Demon could produce for his team. 9 class. Banished twice. They have Sprout as well. 9 class.
Just gonna sell him here.
He is very dead. We'll go down to the Astral. It's almost like the double bubble strat, just a baby version. It's a triple bubble. Triple baby bubble.
Yeah.
Disruption, Astral, Sprout.
It's a lot easier to play the game if the enemy heroes keep disappearing. Then you outnumber them when they're never there.
Incredible mechanic. One of your favorite heroes in OD.
It's definitely risen in my joy list. I used to not really like OD that much, but I guess with everything else changing the way it has, Well,
I think it's the brain rot over the years that's changed your opinion.
And you're saying you have been unaffected by this brain rot.
That's right. I've always had resistance to brain rot because I was born with it.
That makes
hardened by life, Cinderin.
Sense.
Had a real hard life.
Radiant are scanning.
It's okay, everybody. We'll get back on track soon. I honestly, if they deleted Astral, then he'd be fine.
Yeah, wow. Sounds like a great hero.
Well, and replaced it with another ability.
Okay, give me a suggestion.
No. Not going to do that.
How about if you replaced Astral with Sprout?
Give him Mana Drain.
Yes. Give him Lion's Mana Drain. That's a great idea. And give Lion Astral Imprisonment.
Yeah, whatever. No one inside the Sprout. That's the damage rune. It is running out, though. I mean, looking at their lineups, OD, pretty good at taking Roche.
Yeah.
Parivision's lineup, a bit meh. I mean, Terrorblade's okay.
Yeah. Really testing if their parentheses on the keyboards work today.
Another stack of Ancients here. See if that's reserved for... I feel like Nightfall's had a very quiet game, just farming away. Top 3 net worth right now.
Same for Satanic.
We're just part of the reason is
killing
Courier
creeps.
got killed, yeah. So.
X mark onto Kiyotaka, but he will counterplay the combo with Astral.
Vlad's online for Toronto. And what kind of build do you want to see on the Tidehunter this game? Because we saw, I forget what game it was, where the Blink Dagger didn't come out until much later.
I think Axe is amazing this game.
So you do want to exit stuff.
Yeah, because you're playing against so many illusions.
Yeah.
He already got it against only the TB, but this time he's going to have it against CK. He's going to have it against the Darkseer wall as well. There's a lot of upsides.
You want him to go it right away?
No, I think he's currently queuing up a pipe, which I don't know how good that is here, but
There's not that much magic damage. Invis rune available. Kiyotaka will bottle it, or take it, I should say. Immediately uses it. And Ducalis won't be able to get out. And they're going to get a very valuable Oracle illusion now.
Yes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
he's going to use it to scout with.
No one, not going to be too happy.
Of course, in classic Valve fashion, this Oracle illusion is losing. It's currently down to 0, minus 17 seconds duration.
Okay, infinite.
Yeah, it just keeps going into the minus.
Found a loophole in the time continuum. Tier 1 tower will be Aurora's. Force staff for Kiyotaka, and I would assume he just goes for the straight Hurricane Pike, unless he needs the BKB in between or something.
This is the best hero in Dota to buy Pike on, I think. This and Ench.
Yeah.
That does not mean... I mean, there's plenty of other heroes that still buy it, but for these heroes, it's just incredible what it does for you. It's just so much value.
We put this on the S double plus tier list.
Yeah. Thing about Ench is she doesn't always buy it because she can go other build paths depending on the game. But for OD, it's not fully mandatory, but it's pretty damn close on this hero that you have to buy this just because how valuable it is. Except you remember when people were playing OD with Meteor Hammer? Like in that build, you wouldn't go it probably.
Oh, Mira disrupts an illusion, and he's going to pay for it. 9 class gets credit for that one. Satanic on the Terrorblade. Only 1 kill to his name, which you're like not used to seeing that at this stage of the game. But it is a Terrorblade, so it's going to be a little bit of a slower upstart.
It's time for wisdom. So say some wise words.
Haste.
Okay, I was not expecting anything, and I was still disappointed. I thought you were going to say something.
Nope.
Panto trying to steal against 9 class. Not going to happen.
Chaos Bolt and Torrent for an easy cleanup. So it'll be the trade of wisdoms.
Got off the Wrath of Nature before dying, so the waves will be pushed that little bit extra. And in spite of not getting the Shrine of Wisdom, you did force quite a lot of rotation from Parivision to protect it, and that is going to lead to a top tower taken by Toronto Tokyo. Also an alliteration again for you. Sunspen TV.
Not gonna lie, that was the 65%.
Okay.
You keep track of that.
I don't need your approval. I don't need your approval.
Yep. Got it. Keep up the
Smoke.
bit. Sure, everyone's loving it.
It's not a bit. You didn't respond.
Do I need to respond to everything you say?
No, I don't need your approval.
Sorry, what'd you say? As they go through the gate.
Okay. Well, what are they going to do down here? I mean, the bottom tier 1 is still standing, of course. Maybe you're hoping to get a quick pick onto Darkseer and then take this tower, but in the meantime, you've sent your OD away. This is a little bit awkward, I think, from Aurora. Not really feeling this play very much. Maybe they're hoping that they can catch the carry over here in the Terrorblade, that he's farming the right side. You loop around fully here. You're not connected with your heroes. This is strange. It could work, though.
Here, Ducalis. Not the most valuable kill. They're going to go on to DM instead. Demonic Purge applied. Well, I say that. They're kind of splitting the uprights here. The Sprout onto DM, but the Shadow Demon Disruption, that is not the synergy you're looking for. That's going to produce a back wall from DM. He's actually going to get away as a result of this. Ducalis will eventually be brought down as no one inside the Sprout immediately exits. Mira is his choice as Satanic shows up and runs to the side. So after all that, it's a 1-for-1.
Oh, he was very close to being able to cast X, but just long enough cooldown.
Yeah, the disruption was not ideal.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I think the play was kind of weird to begin with. Like, just an awkward maneuver They end up getting an okay result, and they will get the tower, which I guess was the primary objective of that play. But yeah, when you split your heroes up like this, things can get strange. And of course, it's extra unfortunate that they didn't layer the spells correctly, without a doubt. Mira, he's dead.
Yes, indeed. Toronto, Tokyo. Did they spot him? Do they care? Do they think they can even kill him at this point? His courier's dead, but the pipe not too far away. As 9 class is going to get the Phantasm off, but the Sandy's Eclipse comes out. A 3-second stun from the CK is enough to help him survive, as no one will continue on to Kiyotaka. X marks. Not going to get the full combo, though, but they do get the double root from the Oracle. No one stuck inside the trees, though. Fate's Edict applied. Has boat in 3 seconds. See if they want to try to turn this. The Nightfall shows up, and now things get a little hairy. Not talking about his head of hair, actually, which would be an actual good pun. Ducalis. Looks like he'll get away. DM, no surge for a bit. They actually all get out, other than the original kill onto 9 class.
Feels like a difficult game to build a meaningful advantage in right now. It's just by nature of how the lineups function. This is a game where both lineups kind of want to itemize themselves out of the problems that they have. Mira vanishes the wrong one.
Yep. 33% chance there.
He's good Sprout.
Okay. Panto.
Narrowly saved.
Yeah, Panto's been pretty clutch this game. I'm curious what the itemization for 9 class is going to be. It is still the armlet. So do you just build similar things, just slower pace? Is that kind of the idea?
I feel like we saw a different build on 4CK in another game. I think I saw Atos, but
Atos?
Yeah, I think so. I seem to remember the 4CK going Atos and just playing control. Either way, though.
Roche attempt for Aurora.
I'm not sure how much I like him scaling like this, because, like you said, it's going to be slower, way slower than normal CK. And against the heroes that he's facing, how reliable is it that he's impactful against Tide and OD and Tiny cleaving his illusions? Yeah. I feel like you need to be really farmed before they actually start mattering.
There might actually be a fight brewing here. Parivision, seeing how slow this Roche attempt is, it's only a half HP. 9 class initiates onto Mira. The right clicks from Satanic, not quite enough. Actually, it was. He buys back into the game instantly. 9 class. Faith's Edict, not enough to keep him alive. He will drop big boat combo with the wall to follow. Kiyotaka on the outskirts. He can right-click from afar now, trying to take out these pesky illusions. Really annoying to deal with. Kiyotaka gets to the high ground. Toronto, Tokyo, of course, still has the Ravage at the ready. Another 10 seconds for 9 class to get back into this fight. They see that Roche still has a respectable amount of HP, but with Satanic popping meta, it's running out soon. They might just have to give this up now.
Nightfall looking for an angle. This could be a big surprise if he gets the backstab with the Shadow Blade together with Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, Toronto, Tokyo with the slow onto Ducalis. Panto, Sprout to follow. Not able to really get any stun lock there. Nightfall a bit too slow. Actually, don't go straight into the Roche knowing that meta is down. We'll see if that's an option.
Has been killed. Radiant's middle
DM
tower is under attack.
looks like he'll be able to surge away. Nightfall a little bit too slow, but Panto, luckily for them, does have global reach. The DM just gets his way out of the Sprout immediately. And they did kill Kiyotaka's courier, by the way, so I believe that's the Witch Blade, or portion of it at least. I guess it was just the attack speed portion of that.
Not too important. It's a weird game, honestly. Like, the teams seem unable to kill each other. It's like the dichotomy between tankiness and save versus actual ability to kill is just not overcome yet. We will get there, don't you worry.
Yeah, 9 class slow to a crawl with the Demonic Purge. Has to try to fight his way out. Getting close to killing Mira. Gets the banish off. Satanic's making his way over as well, though, as 9 class last right click is enough, and illusions come for Mira.
trying to think about what item timing really changes the game drastically. Kunkka got his Radiance, that didn't really change much. You now have Pike on Terrorblade. On the other side, OD got his Pike. You have the Pipe on Tide, making it even further difficult for the Dire to kill anyone. Still would like to see Toronto Tokyo get the eggs. I think he bought some sort of component. What did he buy? Oh, he bought the shard. Okay. And she is looking for a catch here. They will finally get something here into Callis, I think.
Comes in with the meta. They get in the water onto the Oracle.
All right.
Not able to get off anything else, though. 1 for 1 to start. Boat misses. Toronto Tokyo on the run. 9 class. Brings him back in. Ravage is expended. Hits everybody. Is it enough for him to retreat? Doesn't have Blink Dagger or anything, so just gets vacuumed back. Pops the pipe and will burn away eventually. No one getting credit for that one. So Ravage down now, and now Parivision in the area, so Tormentor will be theirs.
Yeah, Aurora just outnumbered themselves, essentially. They went for that play. It took really long. The enemy team shows up with everyone, and they don't match. OD stayed mid. The Tiny stayed bottom. And under usual circumstances, that's actually a decent trade to lose your Tide and profit for that Oracle kill, I would argue, when you force the entire enemy team to show up for that long. But the problem is, they kind of wanted to be there anyway to get the Tormentor. And I think that Reign of Destiny definitely changes the equation.
Attempt again at Roche here. Nightfall making his way over.
They don't have Ravage.
Yeah, Parivision. They have back wall, so again they get it to half HP and then exit.
Do they want to smoke and fight without Ravage? Toronto Tokyo isn't even going there. He's going top to farm. They just stopped doing it.
He wants that egg.
Honestly, Aurora kind of wasting time a decent amount here. Instead of just ramping up, do a little bit of half and half and get nothing. Toronto Tokyo will start working on the eggs. So, got the shard. Aghanim's next. We'll be playing without Blink Dagger. OD about to get the Witchblade, and then you assume Kiyotaka will be looking at BKB next so he can actually stand in fights against these heroes. But Satanic is dwarfing everyone. Classic Terrorblade. Overtaking the farming game.
Yep, reflection on a Kiyotaka. They got vision for the X, but the Astral will counter that. But now they get the distance. Actually, yeah, they get the tidal wave on top of Kiyotaka. He's dead. 45 seconds as Mira looks to be next. Ravage still not up as Toronto Tokyo taking a beating from behind. Satanic doing so much damage. The Kraken Shell activation not nearly enough.
Oh, this is a lane of racks.
3 dead without any way to get back in the game.
If Parivision realized this, they just full-on commit. They're pinging it. They want to force the buybacks, but they're not available.
Fortification up will be used. And the Wrath of Nature does clear out a good amount of the creeps. They do get the tower. And now the focus onto the melee racks. This is going to be a very fast barracks for Parivision based on a lot of the games that we've been seeing. They're going to get the full set. You were right. Full lane for Parivision. And now truly in the driver's seat in this game 3.
And it feels like the way in which they have won, for me, has largely been around just better macro. The fights that we're seeing being taken, either Aurora aren't there in full force, or they are lacking a key cooldown. Like in that case, they didn't have Ravage, and they still got caught on Kiyotaka, and then it turned into a bigger fight when they could have cut him.
Also feels like they're maybe not on the same page in some ways. They have tried to go for Roche twice, and then just leave.
Well, they might have been on the same page, but just flipped it over every time.
Well, that's also an issue.
Yeah.
So in the end, first Roche goes to Parivision. And with a full 5 minutes of a second life for Satanic, you gotta believe that they're gonna go for a second lane. Tier 2 remaining in the both top and bottom. That will make quick work of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can easily force the enemy team back, and they will need to bring back the whole army to defend here.
And this is a butterfly on Satanic, which was not in his inventory for the last push. It's
and it's
going to be way harder.
against OD and Tiny, right? These heroes do not want to buy MKB. Now he has it against
and
both
the meta,
of them.
and now the siege. They have a fortification.
I think they're just going to sell the second lane.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I'm looking at the minimap right now. Tiny and Tide aren't even moving.
You were no match indeed.
There it goes.
And Nightfall, I don't think I've seen him in a fight in quite a while. They're going to try to find somebody in their base. Panto taking a lot of damage from the illusions. But you are right. They will give up the second set. As Parivision, 2 lanes. And it's not like they even have... this Aegis still has 3.5 minutes.
That's the biggest problem with this. Sometimes the best play is to give up the set because you can't defend, and at the very least you get another chance to fight outside of Aegis.
Yeah, they're just going to go down bot now.
If they go straight bot, it's the same situation, just with 1 lane less. I don't think you're getting to any key item that's truly going to change this. Tide will get a dagger, but I'm mainly looking for damage. That's what they need. This has been the problem for both teams for quite a while in this game until Parivision finally broke through the barrier. Feels like Aurora haven't got there yet. With their Tiny needing more time. He's not going to get it. They're about to push through bottom. This has been a game unlike, I want to say, any other we've cast today.
Yeah, this is a strange one for sure. Nightfall. Oh, he's spotted.
Oh, this could be a big find.
Torrent to follow. Toronto-Tokyo jumping in, gets the leash onto the CK. That is not even that much important of a target right now. The Rain of Destiny healing him up, though. Gets tossed up into the air. So much used onto this CK. Gets false promised as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mira taken out very swiftly. And Aurora desperately searching for something. They get the Oracle in the end.
This is actually good for Aurora because it's delaying the push. If they didn't make this move, Satanic would already be hitting the tier 3. You have to disrupt them on the way in and prevent them from just running down the lane. So I do like this play. And the 1-for-1 trade isn't all that bad. Still buying the time. And here it comes. He still has 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's so much time. Oh, Toronto-Tokyo. Might just sit here for a while and wait for them to get closer to the high ground and then collapse on them as no one runs into a majority of the team. The Astral Imprisonment is already there. The stun onto 2 heroes. That was actually really big. Gives no one a time to pop the BKB now. They get the Nature's Prophet. They get the connection onto the OD. Just stuck in the corner here. Will have to Astral himself. But there is no way out. Pops his ult. Dies right after. Nightfall does find Ducalis. 40 seconds on the deck, but now he's in peril. As Satanic making his way closer. 9 class brings him back into the right-click range. Toronto-Tokyo with a nice Ravage, but they've already lost their position 1 Tiny. And now Toronto-Tokyo next on the list. Very tanky, but they still get the kill anyway. And now there's truly no stopping them. 2 cores dead for Aurora without buyback.
Well, Tide just got his, but you don't have damage. OD has no ulti now. Threw it away for a little bit of damage on the CK. Or excuse me, on the Kunkai, I think it was. Yeah, Satanic is just in there.
Okay, gonna use it onto Panto. 30 seconds on the Aegis still. Demon Zeal is no joke. Usually, before this shard, this would have stopped the push already without the meta. They get the range and now focus onto the melee. As the vac wall comes through, Mira gets evaporated. X disrupted by the Astral Imprisonment. With the rest of Parivision here to clean up. Triple kill for Satanic. And they're going to be able to get the Megas just as the Aegis expires. GG's called. Parivision. Dominant game 3.
Yeah. It's a fun graph to look at for this game. It's like both teams were